While earning her master's degree from Columbia University in early childhood education, Shirley Chisholm was a consultant to the New York City Division of Daycare and soon joined local chapters of the League of Women Voters and the NAACP. In 1968, Shirley Chisholm was the first woman of color to be elected to Congress. Soon she would be the first woman and person of color to seek a political nomination for president. Through her political career, Shirley fought for unemployment benefits and programs that gave underprivileged children the opportunity to go to school. She also played an essential role in the creation of the Special Supplemental Nutrition Program for Women, Infants, and Children, SNAP-WIC, ensuring that low-income mothers could have access to free, healthy food for their young children. George Washington Carver was an agricultural scientist and inventor, better known as the man who created over 300 uses for peanuts. Unfortunately, not one of them was peanut butter. He was at the ground floor of the creation of the Tuskegee University's Agricultural School and remained a beloved teacher for close to 20 years. One of Carver's greatest contributions to the Southern farmers was the idea of crop rotation. This helped enrich the soil as different crops were grown. In his later life, Carver spent his time promoting racial harmony in the South and spreading nutritional values as far away as India. James Hemmings, brother to Sally Hemmings, grew up on the Thomas Jefferson estate. He accompanied Jefferson to France, where he trained for 3 years to become Jefferson's personal chef, learning French cuisine and quickly mastering it. Upon his return to Virginia, James became the first American-born trained French chef. And later, as a free man, James was sought after for his skills of French delicacies that were once reserved for those able to pay the high costs. Now, delicacies such as mac and cheese were finding their way into diners and homes. Dr. Marilyn Hughes Gaston dedicated a large portion of her life studying sickle cell disease. Her research led to a nationwide early infant screening program still in place today. Early screening and detection of sickle cell cases led to a decrease in children and infants developing septic infections, a common life-threatening occurrence among infants. Within 1 year, 40 states had begun screening programs. One of the most important conclusions of their work was the ease with which the complications of sickle cell disease could be avoided with early treatment. This was spread all over the world. Just before the beginning of the Second World War, Charles Drew was pushing past racial boundaries and leading the field in plasma research and storage. Even before he passed his exams, his key methods of plasma storage versus the current body-to-body transfusion saved countless lives on the soon-to-be battlefields of Europe, as blood transfusions became more readily available to the injured soldiers. Drew spent his last 9 years of life teaching at Howard University, where he will, quote, train young African-American surgeons who would meet the most rigorous standards in any surgical specialties, place them in strategic positions throughout the country where they could in turn nurture the tradition of excellence. The story of Henrietta Lacks continues to this day. Though it has been over 70 years since a biopsy of her cells was used in the first successful creation of immortal HeLa cell lines, these cells from Lacks are still used today in the research and development of polio and COVID-19 vaccines, to the study of leukemia, AIDS virus, and cancer worldwide. Though her contribution to medicine was not directly related to her own actions, in the recent decade, Henrietta's tale has been gaining the recognition that she never received while alive.